What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to your July creative forecast, my darling Geminis. This is for you, for your sun, moon, or rising. So we've got a couple things going down in July in terms of transits and astrological phenomena, as it were. Um, which it sounds so mysterious. Anyway, so there's a full moon in Capricorn on July 13th. We're kicking off the month in Capricorn. Oh my goodness, wrong month. Certainly air condition worthy, but we're kicking off the month in Cancer. Then the full moon in Capricorn happens on July 13th. Some of the themes that you'll want to observe, I have my handy dandy notes, or themes that might come up, and they'll come up. You don't necessarily don't make it a job. Just allow these things, right? Allow them to come up, but be mindful of this. There could be some practical determination. This full moon will help to manifest big ideas that you expanded upon and released during this Sagittarius full moon, but then intentions you set during the Cancer new moon on either the 28th or 29th. And this is really going to be about nourishment for the journey. So how are you filling your cup? How do your daily rituals and the practical ways that you implement tasks or processes in service to your goals, how are your daily rituals or habits supporting you, right? This is expanding on the details that make passion take flight, right? Thinking about the Sagittarian full moon energy. So that make that passion take flight. So discipline, determination, ambitious dreams, and also looking at where you limit your own expansion, which will come into play later with the Sagittarius. Oh my goodness, so much Sag. The Jupiter retrograde on July 29th. So that like limiting expansion might be a theme, but looking at, this is not a bad thing. Retrogrades get a bad rap, but I feel like they're a beautiful time to look within. I think that looking at where you limit your own expansion will be important for the full moon in Capricorn. Nonetheless, we move into the new moon in Leo on July 28th, which is really about setting intentions that allow you to shine your light pretty fearlessly. Channeling your power. How do you govern your domain? Right? This Leo energy, the lion, right? Like, how do you, where this like sense of pride in yourself? I mean, like, it's also Pride Month right now, but like, how do you govern your domain? How are you taking ownership and leadership? I mean, Aries is more leadership. Interesting, I'm hearing leadership on Leo. But how you govern your domain and cultivating quiet, fiery traits that help to stoke your fire, right? How do you tend to that flame? How do you tend to your sense of fun in a way that inspires you, right? So this is about soft strength and power and calling creativity back to yourself. This is about play and free thinking as a way of stoking your inner fire and that flame, right? This is about using internal facing joy to catalyze methodical progress that you're using the full moon in Capricorn to expand upon. So I'll say that again, using internal facing joy to catalyze methodical progress and looking at processes and how they empower you. But also just stepping into some fun, setting some fun intentions, starting fun projects, right? It's very good energy. So the Jupiter retrograde happens on July 29th, and that is about testing your limits and assumptions. Now it's not necessarily, it's more fixed sign energy that likes to test assumptions, but this is still good energy to do that with, to test ones that you hold about yourself, right? Because it's in Aries, it kicks off in Aries, and then it goes direct in Pisces on November 23rd. So this summer is going to be a way that I think the energy here is going to give us some practical insight into what we need to expand ourselves from, how we need to expand ourselves from the inside out, right? And it's looking at the first half of the year. So the first 6 months and our relationship to self. Yes, Jupiter was in Pisces, but it's in Aries right now, which has kind of been from what I'm talking to folks about. And just the energies too of like Pride Month. It's like a sense of self, like a baptism by fire into your sense of self. And what's most important to you in that sense of self? How are you owning that? How are you letting that lead, like that part of you take the lead? This is also about independence and being in touch with what lights you up. It's also about cultivating skills and habits that carry us forward, that allow us, like fate happens, like we think of fate as just happening, but I'm thinking of the quote from Seneca, luck is when preparation meets opportunity, or success is when preparation meets opportunity. And I feel like nothing really captures that sentiment of a Jupiter retrograde in Aries more than that when you're looking at yourself and your sense of self. And just as a side note, I feel like intuition is going to be really important between October to December. I know we're in July already, but it's fine. I think because keeping this in mind too, an interesting note about that transit in October to December is it's the last time in our lifetime that Pisces will also be in its natural rulers of Jupiter and Neptune together. So it could be a time. This is like it. I feel like 2022 is like once in a lifetime vibes, like that kind of mood, especially with Jupiter in Pisces generally, and how different transits have been expanding it. But anyways, keep just fun stuff to keep in mind. I think that this is also going to call for some pauses in decision making, not stopping outright, not stopping altogether, but just, how are your decisions adding to or taking away from your sense of self, my darling Geminis? Just looking at that energy and ask. So I wrote this is my own thoughts. So asking, might this decision require me to restore faith later, or does this honor me and that faith in myself now? And I think so the Jupiter retrograde will be felt most strongly by the cardinal signs, so Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. A lot of feelings of growth and expansion externally. The mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, feel it more internally. Second most affected signs. Not the affected meaning it's not like your world is gonna go like upside down or anything. It's just that this is more internal facing energy. So you might find that there's an inner world that becomes more rich and expansive for you. And then fixed signs least affected. Which is great because let me tell you, those eclipses were all that I can probably, no kidding. I'm an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Gemini rising. So, but like it's the fixed signs kind of get a break on this one. And Jupiter retrograde isn't that intense in energy anyway, but I'm just poking fun. So thinking about, though, with this Jupiter retrograde, the first lessons, like the lessons that we learned from the first half of the year, and especially with the Saturn retrograde still being at play here, it's looking at like how, in terms of like forward movement, just, I mean, for me, this Saturn retrograde has felt like a lovely breath of fresh air. But it's looking at the first half of the year and then taking stock, because Jupiter is going to go direct in Pisces in November. So it's like we're giving ourselves a kind of break. Right, we're giving ourselves a kind of break. For some reason, I'm thinking October. Oh no, I'm having a moment. I wrote down it goes direct on November 23rd. Anyways, I feel that this is going to be a time to just reflect and take stock of expansion, right? And again, thinking about that quote, success is when preparation meets opportunity. So just remembering that. Now, when it came to meditating on the energy specifically, I have separate notes in my handy dandy little notebook here. What came to mind was the idea of rememory. Now, it popped into my head while I was kayaking, because as I was kayaking, I came to this route underground, and it was this thick tree, this really old tree. It was it had to be hundreds of years old. The lake was flooded because it used to be a dam. Well, it was flooded as part of a dam, and it's I guess human made, and the trees were cut down as part of that, or they fell down with time as it was flooded. It was flooded in like, I think the 17 or 1800s, so like a long time. It's not new, but this is about the ways that the rememory of the land, right? Like the things that rememory. So memory is a constant knowledge, and it represents moments we willingly recall. Like I remembered that. Like it's something that we engage in actively. Rememory is remembering things that we had forgotten. It's usually referred to in the sense of trauma, but I find that this is a beautiful remembering where something takes you aback about yourself, where you remember something about yourself that it takes you back, it takes you aback in delight, right? So that's the energy that I got. And just thinking about the way that that happens with the earth, right? Recalling something that we forgot we knew, recalling spaces, aspects of ourselves that we forgot were even skills. And that sounds very much like we're outside of the driver's seat, or we're outside of control, possibly outside of integrity, but it's really just thinking, remembering this rememory of aspects of ourselves that really, I'm hearing empowered, like that empowered us. And I also considered, what does the earth rememory? What does rememory look like for the earth, right? And human-made constructs like dams or thought forms or thought patterns or beliefs or, whatever, when we, those things can repress, right? Keeping the tree underwater. But when we stumble upon them, so I wrote this down. Human-made constructs repress, but when we stumble upon them, we see not the hard edges of human, but the soft lines of the divine in the way that the life expectancy of wonder carries on. So it's like the life expectancy of wonder a little bit, but wonderment at yourself. So we're going to dive in here, okay? My beautiful Geminis, I set the intention before the reading, so. Spirit, what messages do you have for this July creative forecast for Gemini? The bride offers herself. Ooh, I felt that one. The bride offers herself. I'm seeing an altar. Like what is it about? Like you're an altar. How are you offering of yourself? There's something that I'm seeing somebody lay something down at an altar. And I saw it as like an offering of yourself, but what of yourself are you offering, right? Are you offering all of yourself? All of you? Gifts received. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Gifts received. Maybe there's a part, it's like you're offering yourself, and maybe there's someone that believes that you are the gift that they're receiving. But I feel like I'm seeing the Two of Cups in this reciprocity, right? Maybe the rememory here is what parts of you are this beautiful gift, and not just in a confidence way, but in a connecting way. Because I'm seeing a map and the ways that streets connect to one another and the multiplicity of routes to get somewhere, but that you always end up in the destination you need. And the generosity of life at offering different pathways to it. So it's just making peace with the path, I suppose. The void, yeah. It's like making peace with the path, because the paths that we don't take could be seen as different voids that existed in our energy. But it's about clearing those out. The gifts received, I'm going to read to you. Relax. It's okay to accept what is coming your way now. Gentle your soul, steady your heart. Even the most precious treasure can be received by you. Why not? Are you not built of the same stuff as the treasure, beloved? It's all love, after all. That is all there is. Enjoy, accept, rest in the knowledge that you are being invited into a sanctuary of abundance, peaceful rest, and replenishment now. It's just time. This oracle holds a message for you. The universe is trying to get something to you. More abundance, more love, an answer to a prayer. Sometimes the healing comes in unexpected packages. Sometimes we try so hard to find the answer, exerting so much effort to receive, that we make things harder for ourselves than they need to be. So relax, have some fun, be at peace. Everything is working out just fine, and there's a nice surprise coming your way. Okay, wow. I'll read you the poem on this side. I'm smiling really huge. The wind blows softly through grass in my open heart. Love unexpected. Beautiful. Could be a little bit of unexpected love. Yeah. Jupiter. I'm hearing Jupiter when I'm looking at this. The bride offers herself, and I'm hearing Jupiter. And I didn't realize that Jupiter is husband energy. I was like, whoa. When I heard that before, I was like, that's really interesting. Because I had always thought that it was about anyways, I thought it was about Venus, and I needed to get my my charts in order. The bride offers herself. I'm hearing too that this is a time to consider boundaries and how that limited your expansion. Boundaries, like I'm seeing an offering on an altar, yes, but also what informs that offering, what informs those boundaries, what informs the release. The release. It reminds me of, there was another reading where that happened. I talked about release. I talked about release, and then I talked about the wheel, or Jupiter, and then the wheel was like plunk and came out. Release. Maybe you are releasing old baggage and boundaries. Baggage. Anyways, I need to stop trying to figure out what's coming out right now, because it's just channeling. I feel like you're releasing things that didn't serve you, that affected your ability to draw proper boundaries. In a way, proper just meaning that they nourished you. There's an equal give and take and an equilibrium and a balance. Giving and receiving. Yeah, that's big time. This is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. It could be you, Gemini, or others around you. This could be a resonance now. Like there's like a coming together here, but it's coming together because the energy is responding to itself. So it recognizes it more of itself. So if you're not vibrating at a frequency of things like codependency or, poor relationship habits, it's like there's a way that you're no longer drawing that to you. And I think it's about trusting. Seek. Yeah, this is the Hermit card. I think this is going to be a call to kind of go within for sure. There's a need to tap into your own wisdom here. I think it's about tapping into your own wisdom and understanding that there's something that you have within you that's not just valuable, but that acts or can act as an inner compass. It can act as an inner compass. And it will be like, it's not, I don't feel like it's up in the air. Like I feel like it is doing that. Whether you tap into that wisdom or not, it exists within you. Solar plexus. Who else got this? Taurus, I think. Interesting. I think this has a lot to do with, I'm hearing boundaries in that offering. It goes back to the altar. Like, what is it? What is the altar made of? Is your altar made of sacrifice, or is your altar made of love? Is your altar made of equilibrium, or is your altar made of codependency? And what your altar is made of also fundamentally changes the nature and substance of the things that you lay upon it, right? If your body is an altar, what you lay upon it and how people engage with it, it changes, right? Because then it becomes something more sacred. Then it's like something is becoming sacred. It's like it's interesting. I see this as like almost an altar, like the altar of your solar plexus. What are you laying upon it? What is that made of? What do you believe that its base materials are constructed of? Because that will change your relationship to it. So again, it's like this frequency that it's like is resonating differently. There's something, and I think this is because you've done healing work here. I think the void is more informing where you thought you were, and this is like an emergence into the light, but you were like the light was there the whole time. And it's almost like this, like going within, and like this is you coming out from that place possibly as well, and embracing the knowledge and wisdom that you gained while you were there. Oh, beautiful. This is the Ace of Cups. And of course it would come out during Pride Month, or rainbows. So, my little queer heart just gets so excited. Yeah. The light gets in because I feel like this allows you. Gemini. I don't necessarily do these creative readings for a relationship, but I feel like it's really difficult to say that that's not something that's a possibility with the bride offers herself, gift received, and Ace of Cups. Let me just double check something here. Yeah, that's the Ace of Cups. They changed the colors on this, and because I have dyscalculia, where my brain, like, I can't hold calculations and numbers flip, so I'm like, ew, is 6 a number or a letter? Sometimes my brain just has like a glitch. And this is, the color kind of threw me, so I had to look it up. So 6 of Pentacles. Spirit, what messages do you have for Gemini to clarify this 6 of Pentacles here? The 8 of Wands. Let me move the microphone down. Thank you. I don't know why I'm thanking the microphone. So we have the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Wands. I feel like this is like you gaining a sense of direction. Like if you had questions about where to go, I feel like you're moving towards things that are more balanced, and you're doing it very quickly. Like I don't think there's a lot of, it's not the slowest moving energy because you're aware, and it helps. I think it connects to something really like a deep, passionate part of you. Yeah, it connects to a very deeply passionate part of you. 3 of Wands, Magician. feel like you're a little bit more powerful than you may give yourself credit for right now, Gemini. You could also have fire placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or they could be in fire houses. For example, like I'm an Aquarius Sun, and my Sun is in the ninth house, right? Yeah. Anyways, so the train's coming in. Oh my goodness, the story of my every reading I do. But so this is fast moving energy, and I feel like this is almost like it's like I'm getting the vibe that because there's this coming together of passion, equilibrium, balance, and seeing the sacredness of this process, or this, what it is that you're laying upon this altar, and how you're viewing yourself as perhaps something as sacred as what you might lay upon it, right? I think it's like supercharging your manifestations right now. So it's like the minute that you anticipate, it's like something starts to show up, and it's really like it's like things are moving quite quickly because of that. And I think it's less that the manifestations are coming in a very quick way. It's just that you're knowing what direction to look. You're knowing how to work the energy because you're cultivating that of your own, right? And that does happen when you see yourself as a sacred being, when you see yourself as a spiritual being, when you see yourself as worthy of honoring yourself and being honored in turn. I feel like, and also that deep yearning to, and yearning, not longing, to honor others, right? To do the same for others. I feel like that shifts the way that manifestations show up, because then everything is a blessing. Everything has the possibility to be amazing. And that's not saying that everything is going to stay on your path forever, but it's saying that there are ways that energy can activate manifestations in really positive ways. So we have the Hermit, and then we have the Devil. So Capricorn energy could be the Capricorn full moon on July 13th. I'm going to pull more cards to get an idea here. I think this is kind of, it's almost like your ego versus inner wisdom. And I think that seek is like the imperative that it's compelling you to act upon. It's like that imperative, like to go within and to resist the urge to get your passion right now twisted up in this ego identity, right? Don't let your passion get tangled in that. Yeah, because I feel like there is a letting go that's taken place here, but there could be some like energetic carryovers. So it's just a kind of call to monitor your energy, not monitor, because that's like laborious. What I'm talking about is more so just clearing it, right? And full moon energy is great. It's great for manifesting, but you can do that kind of energetic clearing independent of full moons, right? So, Spirit, what messages do you have for my Gemini for this July creative forecast? Thank you so much. Okay, so, 3 cards came out. 3 for 1. So we have the 6 of Pentacles, the 2 of Pentacles, and Temperance. So we have Sagittarian energy. Sagittarius. I don't know why I say it's so ridiculous. It's just good. So it's almost like not letting your ego run away with, like, because passion can activate a part of the ego, right? Because passion, be it like just general, or when you get into more like sexual passion, like it's a channeling of energy. And I feel like it can really slow our progress. No, that's not the way to word it or to look at it, because it's not hierarchical, because it's all across, right? This is about looking at, how you can identify with your passion. You can identify with your passion more than your wisdom. And that can kind of give you a false sense of self. So it's almost like this little, like, teeny tiny ego death, right? That could have happened already. 2323 was just on the time. Could be something that happened already. Could be something that's happening. It could be imminent, but it could also just be a call to really allow that to be at rest. Like, don't let that be the dominating energy, because I feel like there is this sense of equilibrium and balance, right? And this is, equilibrium and balance, balancing 2 things. This could be 2 projects that you're working on. This could also just be, an either or, like both and either or. There could be decisions that you have to make. But I also get that this is a bit of adaptability, right? It's about balancing things that are happening and going on. But just keep in mind that your emotions under the surface may be a little bit kind of topsy-turvy. I'm hearing tumultuous, like, right. And it's respecting that as much as the tides shift and change in the ocean, so too do the tides within you, and just allowing that ebb and flow, right? Allowing the ebb and flow, allowing things to move and shift and change as they do, as opposed to fitting them into, like, don't smash yourself into a container, because again, that doesn't honor the altar. I don't know why I picked this up with altar. Anyways, it could be that your confidence and your the view of yourself as someone who's capable of doing things, that sense of self that is then able to move in the world and do things that that would suggest the security and stability of that, right? Yeah, so I feel like just watching your emotions, keeping things in balance and keeping yourself in check, could be relying on some angels right now. Could be archangels that you're relying upon for help and to stay in balance. But I think it's also just about tempering yourself, because there could be a lot on your plate right now. So just giving yourself some peace and being unafraid to go within. So on the solar plexus chakra, that's clarified by the King of Pentacles. So what we're releasing, I think, is fears about our abilities to do something, abilities to handle things. So we have the King of Pentacles, which my reading of the court cards, I'm refining that right now. But for this energy right now, in this reading, I'm really getting that there's a firm foundation that you're building. And I almost feel like this is the solar plexus chakra. I got this image as like I saw someone sitting and then the pentacle radiating the solar plexus light. I think it's about understanding that as much as the root chakra energy dictates your sense of safety in the world, there's like a material safety and a sort of stability that you might have been looking for, but I feel like you have to release the attachments that you've had or have to them in order to allow that to come in. Like there's this flow state that you might be in right now. Whoa, I felt like 400 degrees again. Oh, okay. Sometimes that happens. Like I'll get this rush of heat up my spine and it sits like, and then it moves up, but it's like it sat in the solar plexus. And I feel like there's maybe a way, thank you for that, Spirit. There could be a way that was like there could be it's where your passion is meeting stability and security. Maybe you felt like they weren't mutually, like they not mutually exclusive, like they couldn't both exist at the same time, like things you were passionate about and security and stability. But I feel like that's a shift. I got the image of it being burned away, like the old belief system and patterns, and that's why it got so hot. Old belief systems and patterns are being kind of washed away here with this Cancerian energy, but washed away because you're moving away from it. There's a forward movement here. There's progress, but not for the sake of itself. It's progress, and this is also spiritual wisdom too. So this could be you becoming a teacher of some kind for other people. But I don't think it's becoming a teacher in the hermit sense. I think it's becoming a teacher because you're sort of aligning your emotions and thoughts in a way that it's like a structure. There's a structure to this here. And I feel like there's a way that you're showing up in your own energy here with the Magician, Gemini. But let's see where else this goes. Spirit, what additional message do you have for my Geminis on this solar plexus card? Please and thank you. Things are flying out and popping back in. There's like little stories that are trying to like emerge here. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. And then we're going to be a little more intentional here. Justice. Yeah. I feel like this is going to feel right. This is just, there's something that is crossing your path right now. I see the pages are more opportunities that cross your path, but I feel like there is something that, I don't know why I feel like it's an opportunity, possibly with the Ace of Cups. It could be a relationship. It could be something that really makes your heart sing, right? Something that really makes your heart sing, in a very gay way. No, I'm kidding. But it makes your heart sing. And I think that, something is going to just feel right as it crosses your path. Yeah, as it crosses your path. That's the Ace of Cups, right? That's the Nine of Cups making it all come together. So I feel like something's going to cross your path that's just going to feel right. It's going to resonate with the part of you that has stepped into this Hierophant energy it's like a spiritual wisdom, right? So I feel like this is possibly also institutions. And I feel a little bit like you might be seeking a little more comfort. You might be seeking that stability. You might be seeking, certainly, not tradition necessarily, could be, But I feel more with the Cancerian energy kind of being an on the move energy. I feel that it's more about moving towards something that feels right for you. That feels right for you. So we have the Ace of Cups. Spirit, can you tell me what? Okay, Page of Cups. Yeah, this is definitely like this is like flirtations. Like if this is for a relationship, if not, this is like a little bit more play. So that could be part of this Leo full moon. And by full moon, just kidding, I mean new moon on July 28th. So it could be integrating a little bit more fun. Yeah, Queen of Cups. There's like childlike innocence here, right? Nostalgia, a looking back. Maybe you're looking back and like reintegrating play into your heart and recognizing how that maybe wasn't there for a while. Yeah, the Fool. It's like taking steps to integrate this energy, because I feel like this is the new, right? That breath of new that's on your path right now. And I feel like there's something that's gonna feel. I just heard feel like home. Maybe that's what this is. Like feel like home. This is also a soul connection, a soul bond. Could be past life related. Could be a water sign or someone with water in their chart. I mean, if you're into looking for signs, the ones that we have here are Gemini. We also have Capricorn, and we also have Sagittarius, Taurus, Cancer, Libra, and some Uranian energy. So air. So that's you. Elemental air. There are new steps that you're taking, and I think that it's going to be imperative for you, Gemini, that this month you remember who you are. You remember who you are as connected to this Hermit, right? That's another, so Virgo, connected to this Hermit energy, as opposed to connected to your sense of power that comes through ego, right? Through your sense of power because of what you've done in the world and accomplished. It's more 3131 on the time. It's more about who you are because of you being connected to spirit. And that changes your relationship to your solar plexus, right? That changes your relationship to it. Spirit, what messages do you have for my Gemini to close out this reading, to begin to close out this reading? Just some additional wisdom from the Elemental Oracle, please, for July. Mountain and snow. Interesting. So we have clarity in mountain and silence in snow. I think maybe just getting some rest, just as an aside, prioritizing rest wherever you can might be fairly important right now. It might be important just because it seems like there's a lot that's coming. There seems to be a lot on the horizon here. And a lot of new as well. And with new energy, it's not that it's not that it's intense or you can't handle it, but I think the importance of resting ahead of so much new is that it allows you to integrate the new in a way that you're excited for it. Like you're not going up the roller coaster thing and feeling absolutely terrified. You're not feeling absolutely terrified of the drop, right? It's exciting. Roller coasters, absolutely. I went on a roller coaster once, and my friend said that I made an ungodly noise that sounded like death was on the roller coaster with her. So anyways, just that came to mind as soon as I thought of roller coasters. But it's like that feeling though, right? Like it can be really great or it can be really awful, but it depends on the rest that you get. It helps to breathe this like freshness, this excitement into something new, as opposed to feeling like, oh God, we're at the top, right? You don't freak out. 3333 on the time. You get to take in the view as opposed to the gut wrenching drop that's just about to, no, I'm kidding. But like it is, the one that I went on is like ridiculously small in comparison to the others. So yeah, I'm more of like the teacups in the kids section. Like that's my speed. But so do rest. Get as much rest as you need. Interestingly, these cards both add up to 7. So 16, 1 plus 6 is 7, 3, 4. That's another 7 card. And that is the Chariot, which is movement. And the Chariot is here. So this is, again, fast-moving energy. Rest. Get your rest, my Geminis. It's not just sleep. Sleep doesn't just mean rest, right? It does not just mean rest. I know that in a little while, I will be going out to sit in a hammock and read fiction. It's an old book that I read before, and I'm going to be reading it again. It's called Lamb, and it's by Christopher Moore. And it's about the story of Jesus as told through his childhood best friend, Biff. So it's like that to me is rest today, right? What does rest mean for you? How are you doing it in between? And also integrating, I just heard culture of rest. Very interesting. Maybe finding... if you're looking for work or whatnot, find how do companies or people or friends, how are you creating a culture of rest around you, right? The orbit of things around you, right? Create space for new love. Yes, with the Ace of Cups here, I do believe that that's a distinct possibility. This fine July for you, Gemini. I'm going to pull one more just because I can. And I'm nosy. No, I'm kidding. I'm just very curious. But I feel like you might understand that. So, of all the signs, you would understand it. Well, others too. But anyways, enjoy your extraordinary uniqueness. Yeah. And it's like celebrating yourself and remembering that with all of these things happening, you absolutely can. Like there's, again, look at that. What are you placing on the altar for yourself? What is the offering? What is that? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Right? And how are you offering yourself in that way? Emphasizing rest here, right? Emphasizing rest. And also silence and snow. To me, this reminds me of hikes in winter when it would just be completely quiet and all you would hear is the wind whistling and the texture, the auditory texture of the world around changes. And it's maybe sinking into the nuances of that as a part of the meditative process for you in the present moment. Mm-hmm. I'm also going to pull a chakra card because I can. I've done it for the other signs too, so I'm not feeling particularly rebellious. It's just part of what I was called to integrate into these readings. Okay, so this is the crown. So allow the light of the universe to shine through you. Trust in your inner knowingness and guidance. Spirit always loves and supports you. Open yourself to the intelligence, purity, and grace of consciousness and resonate in all of its possibility. There's that heat again. We are in the butterfly too. So I feel like this, maybe part of your transformation is landing in the solar plexus, but there's information coming through the crown, and that's really part of why this rest is so important. So this turned out to be a huge reading for you, Gemini. Oh my goodness. I'm okay with it though, if you're okay with it. So if this resonated, please like and subscribe. I'd love to have you on the channel if you are not already. If you are joining me from being on the channel, thank you for your eyes and your time. I really appreciate it. So there are other ways you can connect with me on the channel. Feel free to check those out. But if this is where we part, my darling Gemini, I hope that wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, that it finds you very well. And I wish you a fabulous July. Take care.